first thing people are going to hear is us talking about Mighty Number 9.
Mighty Number 9. I actually saw that game running in person the other day. Oh, it's so bad.
Max looks like a Batman villain compared to the rest of us. He's like really hidden in the shadows.
No lighting.
Not as well lit.
Nope, I don't have it. I don't have all the lights. I'm in the dark corner of my room. You can see this half of my face.
You can hold your phone light in front of your face again if you want to do that.
In the dark corner of your new room, which
Hi,
is
one viewer.
down the street from my house.
Yeah, we're neighbors, but we didn't know.
All right. Hi, YouTube. What's going on?
So bright.
I'm happy to be
How
here,
did you
I
just
guess.
stare into the light this long? I can't do it. I'm
You guys
just gonna be.
You guys ready to go?
I was born ready, like Jason
Nope.
Bourne.
I'll introduce Max first, and then we'll... The two
Just
guests or
listen,
whatever.
just follow. Logan
When I say your your name, that
Say
means
your
you can
voice,
speak.
say your
When I
voice.
say
Say
your
my
voice, I say your voice.
My voice's name is Rob, so
It's Rob.
yeah,
Rob.
that's my voice's name.
Rob.
Your voice sounds-
Rob.
Why are
My
3DSs
robotic-
region locked? These are the questions that matter.
I don't know.
I want that Famicom 3DS. I would trade mine in a heartbeat for it.
Max. shh. We're starting the show. All right, you guys ready to clap? Yep.
I don't have the clap.
Yeah, you do, because it's going to be really hard for me to edit if you don't. So please clap.
Okay.
Please clap. All right, you guys good?
I was born ready.
All right, this is going to be interesting, but it should be fun. All right, let's get going in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to episode 54 of Millennial Gaming Speak. I am your host, Logan Moore, and with me, as always, is Max Roberts. Max, hi.
Hi. Hello. Wonderful, fabulous people of the internet. How's it going?
I don't think they're going to
Logan, you
respond
bought a
again this
car
week.
today.
I did buy a car today, on this day,
You did.
sort of. I don't have it yet, but hopefully I do soon. Max, we're joined by some special people this week. There's
Special people.
This is a jam-packed episode.
in the plural sense.
Yeah, multiple
Don't
people.
answer. They won't see us.
Who's that?
No,
who's
I'm
that? Who's that
What's
voice
up?
speaking? Michael Ruiz is back with us this week. He joined us a couple weeks ago when Max was on vacation, so he's back on the show. Michael, hi.
Howdy. What's up, guys?
How do you do? It's the first time, not the first time you and I have talked, Michael, but it's the first time we're on a show together.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So this is fun. I'm excited. You were
I'm
my
excited too.
replacement.
I'm all excited
Yeah.
to see Michael this weekend. Go and hang out with Michael.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
You guys
we're
are going to
going,
Let's Play Live, right?
Yes.
Yep.
That'll be cool.
It'll be a fun time.
So,
Yeah.
we did say we're joined by plural peoples, though.
Multiple.
With us also this week is none other than Brian Henken, making his
Who's that
return
guy?
to the show after, I don't know, a while
Some
off.
Kingdom Hearts fan
it's
on the
been-
internet.
It's been like over half a year.
It's
been a
been a
while.
minute.
Maybe.
It's been a while.
I think you
Let's-
filled in for me last time.
You
Yeah,
did.
I did. I remember.
I think that was the episode you and I ranked Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah, I remember that was an all Kingdom Hearts podcast.
Yep, let's find that. I'm gonna scroll
Nope,
through and figure it
I'm
out.
not upset that I missed that episode.
I think it was episode
Sounds like a
23. May have been the last time you were on. I called it Keys to the Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I remember that.
We had the control of the show. Yep.
What
So,
a time. What a
there's
time.
4 of us here. It's very packed. I can hear my voice on somebody else's audio, so you may want to try to fix that so it doesn't reverb through when we post the show.
I just lowered it completely, so
Okay.
in case it was me.
It may have been. I don't hear myself talking now. So that'll be better on the audio. But we're packed this week. We're joined, Max as always, Brian and Michael. They're here to break down all kinds of other stuff that's been going on with video games this past week. We've got a couple decent news stories this week, a couple big ones, a couple shocking ones, especially regarding Final Fantasy and Square Enix, but we'll get to that one second. We're going to start with notable news, though. We're going to get right into it because I know we've got to kind of fly through this episode because Max has to...
Did anyone else
Hurry
just
up.
hear all that thunder? I know Brian at least did, because Brian's down the street.
I'm actually.
I didn't hear thunder.
I didn't hear it. I'm actually.
Oh,
in
right.
here.
Oh my gosh. I was looking at the form on Audacity, and it was like. Grrr. Anyway,
Maybe I'll hear it when I
I
listen back
just
to the
heard it
show.
now.
oh, there we go. That's how thunder and lightning travels.
It travels down the street like
That-
a paper boy
It's
on
pretty
his
cool.
bike.
It was a low rumble. It was a long one.
So let's get into notable news. If you guys have, you've all been here. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you guys. You're both returning guests, Michael and Brian. But yeah, let's get right into it. So we've got two big news stories this week. Like I said, Final Fantasy got delayed. We'll get to that one in a second. But first, let's start with Sony. They have announced that next month on September 7th at 3 p.m. they're having something called the PlayStation meeting in New York City. It is assumed that this will finally be where they show off the PlayStation Neo, which has been talked about for probably since the start of this year. It was confirmed to be an actual thing in development by Andrew House right around E3 time. We haven't seen it at this point. I mean, this has got to be the reveal for the Neo. It hasn't been confirmed, but this is it.
Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, the
This
other
is
thing
gonna be
is that,
fun.
like, what else are they going to unveil? Like, because obviously they're going to show the Neo. Like, what else are they going to show? Games? Are they going to show more hardware?
That's my part 2 question, which we'll get to in a second.
Okay.
Because you would think it can't just be the Neo, but we are going to see the Neo, right? Like, this is it.
Yes, we are going to see. We're going to see the Neo. We're going to see what it looks like. We're going to get the specs. We're going to get the price.
I heard the
And
thunder
we
that
need to get
time.
the date. We need to get all of that. They can't just go, the Neo's coming. Here's kind of what a game looks like on it. They can't do what they did with the PS4, where they talked about it, revealed it, and then E3 actually showed what the box looks like. Especially if all the rumors of this being an October system, this being kind of an iPhone turnaround, where Apple announces something and a month later it's out. Especially if that is the direction Sony's going, we need all of that information up front.
That was my part 3 question, which
Oh
we
my
were going to
gosh!
get to
Well,
soon.
see,
Is it out this year? Like, so obviously there's a lot of questions with this event. Like,
and we need all the answers.
Obviously you would think that this is probably taking the place of Paris Games Week. They're probably not going to have an event at Paris Games Week, especially because between September and December, where PlayStation Experience will be held, like, you wouldn't think they'll have anything in between there. Like, it'd kind of be almost overkill to have 3 press conferences within a 4 or 5 month span.
Well, and you've also got to
yeah.
think in October is the VR launch. Like,
Yes.
all their focus is going to be on and potentially the Neo launch.
Yeah,
I just don't know what else they could show. Like, it has to be, and they've really gone in depth with VR already.
Mhm.
I don't know, like, unless there's just something else that nobody knows about, but I doubt that. I want it to be the Neo really bad. I
Yes.
think it will, though.
yeah. I think this could. I'm wondering how much time they will spend on VR, because you feel like they will for sure mention it. Hey, we're a month out, but is it just kind of that and that's it? And they
I
mention
think
it in
VR has to
passing.
be a blurb. The biggest thing they could do with VR is saying No Man's Sky is a VR game, day 1 launch.
That would be pretty cool.
Maybe-
Because
that would be a big
because-
thing. Maybe that
PlayStation
wouldn't be as
VR
big of a
is
thing.
missing its AAA marquee title. It's got a bunch of really cool experiences come in. There's Batman VR, which I just saw like a reaction trailer they posted. Seemed pretty cool. They've got smaller games like Super Hypercube or Valkyrie, but they don't have the big AAA push. I mean, the
first one that comes to mind is probably what, Resident Evil. That is the
and that's
That's the big
January.
one, and that's January.
Yeah.
That's a pretty quick turnaround from when it was announced.
Very quick, but No Man's Sky's out now, and if you want to turn a lot of heads,
maybe. The reception, which we'll get into later, that's going to be one of our topics, is how has No Man's Sky been received by the public and ourselves as well. I think we're all going to talk
and
about
critics,
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
critics.
everyone.
So let's go to this first. I said I had 2 kind of questions following up on this PlayStation meeting. Neo. So they're gonna show it. It seems like a foregone conclusion that we will finally see it. We will know what this next iteration of the PS4 will be. Also, let me mention that it is cool to me that they're going back to New York City to announce this, because if you remember back in 2013, that is where they showed off the PlayStation 4 originally. They're going back to their roots. They're showing what is going to be the next iteration of the PS4 in the same place that they once revealed the PS4. So that's kind of poetic, I guess you could say.
They own PlayStation Theater over there.
Yeah, they got that big old.
it makes sense.
So my question that Max I think brought up a second ago was, is it out this year? Like, do they do a quick turnaround on this? And it has been rumored for a while to be out in October. I don't think so. I think they're putting it out to die if they release it within 4 to 5 weeks of announcing it. That just seems idiotic to me. Like, Michael, what do you think? I know you want to say something.
I think that it does come out this year.
You do?
Because,
Okay.
yeah. So, I mean, they have to compete with the Xbox One S, which has been selling like crazy. Like, I guess it's a 2
Xbox
terabyte.
beat it. Xbox beat it in sales, and the S wasn't even out yet.
Yeah, the 2 terabyte one like sold out. Like, you can't get, like, supposedly they're not making any more of those unless
That one's
they're,
not
like,
out yet.
collector's
Is
ones.
that one out already? Because I know.
It was the only one that was out.
Okay.
And then the Gears of War one comes out when Gears of War comes out. So I think each one's going to be like a collector's edition kind of thing. And then they have to compete with that in some sort of fashion, and it's either they drop the price. Well, they're going to have to drop the price of the base PlayStation 4, or they have to have this Neo come out. I would assume. And if you do it later, then they're competing with Scorpio. So they have to do it before Scorpio.
Powerful.
And Scorpio's supposed to be significantly more powerful.
The way I look at it is it does come out this year. And there's been rumors of a slim PS4 and a Neo, kind of like the Xbox One S and the Scorpio. I don't think that happens. I think the Neo is the PS4 Slim with beefed up internals. And I think they lower the price of the OG PS4 and push stock out, and then the Neo comes in and takes its place. I think they get rid of all of our model PS4s and they bring in the Neo.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Do you think there'll be a Slim as well, or do you think
I don't necessarily think there's going to be a Slim, but I think they're going to keep the base PS4 for people who can afford it for sure. Because I mean,
you think
if they
they'll
drop the
price? They'll drop the price, yeah.
They'll probably drop it. I would assume they drop it maybe to 300. It's 350 right now. They could drop that to 300, and then
I mean,
maybe
but the
Neo,
Xbox is still cheaper
the
than that.
Xbox 2 terabyte one is. Well, that's the thing. What's the specs? We don't know the specs of the Neo. I mean, is it the same as the Xbox One S, or is it more than that, or it's like an
I'm pretty sure
in-between
it's more
Scorpio?
so than the
That's
One
what
S.
I think.
Because
That's
the
what I think.
Xbox One S during gameplay is still whatever the game puts out, 900p, 1080p, whatever. But the Xbox One S does 4K video streaming. It doesn't actually. The games aren't in 4K yet. They will be on the Scorpio. I know that.
I think they upscale.
They will it does upscale to 4K.
Yeah, it does.
Not that makes it look prettier, and very few games will support HDR. I know Forza Horizon 3 will, and so will Gears. I think support HDR, which, I mean, the PS4 Neo could do that as well.
It's safe to assume that most first-party Microsoft games will probably support HDR in some capacity moving forward.
My biggest things about the Neo is it's got to have a 2 terabyte hard drive. This is because when Andrew House came out and said we are working on a Neo, we're not ready to announce it at E3, but we are working on one. He said it was a boutique item. This is something a little, you don't need it, but it's there if you want it. It's got to have a 2 terabyte hard drive. If it could be a solid state hard drive, that'd be even better, but that would also jack the price up. But 500 gigabytes doesn't cut it anymore, and a terabyte's not going to cut it either, especially with VR coming out, and then games just getting bigger and bigger.
How hefty is VR going to be on your system's hard drive? Like, that's the thing. You would think most of them would be.
Batman and stuff aren't going to be, but you have to imagine the full games like Resident Evil are going to take a lot. They've got to be fully rendering 3D sound, 3D environments at all times.
I don't think the amount of space it would take as far as I don't know, memory or whatever. I don't think that will take up that much memory of that. But processing power is where that's.
Yeah, and that's
been my concern as well.
That's what that processing brick's for, though.
Yeah,
but then there's games that update too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Grand Theft Auto 5. Base Grand Theft Auto 5 is 60 gigabytes. But all the updates bring it somewhere to 150.
Yeah.
That's already that's almost 2/5 of 500 gigabytes.
Yeah.
So that original 500 gigabyte hard drive can't do that. And VR games, I can only imagine If it's the same thing plus there's games with updates or like expansions and stuff like that.
It's,
You know what I mean?
This has to be able to. They've got to kind of future-proof it for games coming down the road as far as hard drive goes. Obviously, it's going to be a little beefier as far as internals go. Like it's going to be faster to some degree, but it's going to really divide the audience if.
It's going to divide the audience.
If Naughty
no matter
Dog's
what,
next game looks significantly better or just runs significantly better,
there's no if about it. It will. Like that's just. I mean, just being matter of fact. Like it will look better on the Neo. That's just.
Yeah, but how much?
Something we get used to at this point.
They've got a.
Now, does it look better enough for you to want to drop $400-$500 to get that small upgrade? I mean, that's up to the consumer.
How much is this? How much you guys?
I mean,
think
that's the thing. There's
Neo is?
500 questions we have here because we know we're finally gonna see this. Like I seriously have just a list of questions off to the side about what they're gonna do with this because this is a big moment. And to me, the one thing that stands out that I'm concerned about, and the reason I don't want them to release it this year, is because we heard around E3 that the reason that they didn't reveal it at E3 supposedly was because they were completely taken aback by the specs of the Scorpio, and they couldn't believe how much power Microsoft was putting into their box, and that they knew they were undermatched. If they try to force this thing out this year, and it is undermatched, and they try to put it out there purely to be like a guy in the YouTube comment section saying first, then it's going to do nothing in the long run when Scorpio eventually comes out next year and blows them out of the water. Again, they do have a sizable lead right now in console sales. I don't think they need to feel like they're still competing with Microsoft directly, which, I mean, they are, but they've kind of thrashed them these first 3 years of the console cycle. So I don't think they need to be as worried about what Microsoft is doing. They need to just make sure that the decisions they're making are good for their company and not good to defeat their competition necessarily. And that's what I'm concerned about.
I think that Microsoft is going. I mean, this is a whole other conversation, but I'm just going to say, like, I think Microsoft is going a whole different direction in their gaming thing. I think PlayStation is going to be the place where you get the traditional, like, gaming console experience, whatever, the thing that you've known for a while. Whereas, like, Microsoft, I feel like they're just becoming computers now. Like, in the end of the day, it's going to be a computer. And I think that's what the Scorpio is. I think the Scorpio is pretty much a glorified computer. It's almost like a Steam box, pretty much. Like
that's what all consoles are. They're just computers disguised as a plug-and-play system.
But I think that this is more like I think the way that Xbox is going and Microsoft is going, I think they are legitimately just making like a computer. Like you'll be able to run like Windows 8 on it. That's how or 10, whatever the hell it is.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, especially since they've now gotten to the point where everything on the Xbox One is also cross-play with Microsoft PCs. So they are almost blurring those lines. Nothing is now an official Xbox One exclusive only because it's always going to then be on the Microsoft store that you can download for your computer.
Like, all the exclusives, Gears of War, I think Forza Horizon 3, they're all going to work on all Windows devices, and that includes your computer.
Yeah, I think everything from like We Happy Few onward is, I mean, I'm not 100% certain about that, but I felt like everything from We Happy Few forward was going to be on both Xbox One and PC, but I could be wrong there.
Doing the interchangeable parts too?
Now
that's kind of confusing too. Because I remember they said a while ago where it was like, oh, you can just upgrade your system, like whatever, get a new GPU, get a new processor. I'm pretty sure, but like now with the Scorpio coming out, it's almost like it goes in the opposite direction.
I look at it more like a cell phone cycle. I think the Neo is the equivalent of an iPhone insert number S, and I think the Scorpio is the next number. I think the Scorpio is the next leap in the system, and I think the Neo is just an increment, a pit stop. You know, I'm excited for the Neo. I think, I'm getting, to get ready for VR. I wanted to put a 2 terabyte hard drive into my PS4. It costs $100. I can sell my PS4 for $200. Say the Neo's $400. Why don't I just sell my PS4 for $200, take that terabyte money, and then just upgrade?
Because you have PT downloaded?
No, I don't.
I know. I'm just saying that's why some people might not.
In that case, you could sell it for more money then.
Yeah, you could sell it for more. It's all at this event, we have to see the box, we have to get the date, we have to get the price, we have to get the specs. Those are the
I don't
things.
know. I don't know about the date. If it's
I
not
think
coming
so.
out this year, and if they do just say it's a 2017 product, then that's good enough. If
I
it
think
is
it'll be
this year, I think we need a date for sure.
Yeah,
I think
and
a window would be
Nice.
we need a window. We need a launch window. And then the other thing we have to see are the games.
Yeah.
Because
That's for sure.
This gets us to the next part of my question.
right, see?
What
See
else
how I
is
segue
what else
yes?
what else is at this show? So we've already heard. I mean, we've heard some rumors that Rockstar is going to be there, which I am never convinced is a thing because every time there's any show, there's rumors that Rockstar is going to show up. It would make sense though because I think one of their biggest studios is in New York, if I'm correct.
It is.
Yeah.
So
It
that
is.
would make a little bit of like sense just based on the
This-
locations. What else is at this show though? Because it's
But-
not gonna just be them coming out and saying Neo and talking about it for 90
They got to show us
minutes
what
and
the games
that's
look
it.
like. They got to show us, we could see. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw The Last Guardian running on Neo. I wouldn't
That'd
be
be
surprised if we
interesting.
saw a version of Uncharted 4 running on it because Uncharted 4 is gorgeous. So how do you make the game look better? Well, here it is running at 60 because now we've got the extra power. Here's Uncharted 4. We'll see Gran Turismo. Car games always show really well on new consoles.
Great.
Then maybe we see something new like Red Dead 3.
I'd cry. Thank you for saying 3.
I almost said 2. I corrected
Okay,
myself.
good.
Like I caught myself. It's because on the Games Cast today, on the Kind of Funny Games Cast, I heard Colin today saying he heard from people he trusted that Rockstar was supposed to be the closing at E3. Which actually makes sense when you look at Sony's E3 press conference because it ended weirdly with
Days
that demo,
Gone.
with
Yeah,
Days
Days
Gone
Gone.
demo that seemed really out of place. And since this event is in New York and Rockstar has a studio in New York, and knowing just the relationship between those two in the past, not to, I'm forgetting the phrase, but Agent was supposed to be a PS3 exclusive. I'm not saying we see Agent. I'm just saying there's a relationship between Rockstar and Sony. And to have something like, here's Red Dead 3 running on Neo, release window, next year. Obviously, Red Dead doesn't come out this year. That's way too short a turnaround.
Don't put it past Rockstar.
Just to put a game out in literally a month.
I don't know if it would launch the next month,
don't-
but maybe November.
But I think
I don't think a month,
seeing a game, a Rockstar game on stage, is definitely enough to generate hype for this machine, and that would push sales. Despite this being not a Scorpio equivalent, oh my gosh, we can play Red Dead first on Neo, and it's gonna look gorgeous. Absolutely.
Well, see, that's
Drop
the
money
thing,
right
though.
here.
Is that so? What do you mean by first on Neo? Because we already know up front that nothing's going to be exclusive to whatever these new systems are. Xbox clearly laid that out.
By that I mean, not a console exclusive or launches first, but like the best looking version is on Neo.
Okay.
Because GTA took a year to come to PC. GTA 5 did. Red Dead never came to PC. I'm sure that it would come eventually.
So you're
But-
saying that the nicest version of it would be on Neo
the
because the game would obviously also be on the Xbox One,
Mhm.
but it wouldn't match up in terms of quality until
Right.
you would assume the Scorpio came out the following year. So
Right, but then the Scorpio is such a quantum leap that you would probably get a Red Dead Game of the Year version or something. See,
Maybe.
the best version of Red Dead is automatically on Neo until the PC version comes out.
possibly. I mean, I know you keep referring to the Scorpio as like almost the next console for Microsoft, but Microsoft has been very adamant in saying, look, if you have an Xbox One, you don't want to upgrade. You don't have to. Like, if you have your base model right now, you are fine. So while it may be like a huge leap in like quality in the internals in the box, it's still going to work the same way. So that's what's interesting with these consoles. I don't know how big is that leap going to be. Like,
Well, I think part of Scorpio's really powerful insides is VR, and I think the PlayStation VR needs a processor box to make it run and mirror the image on the TV. If Scorpio has that built in, VR is even simpler. Plug and play. You just plug your Oculus into your Scorpio. So I think that's part of where that power comes from.
This is sort of like when the new 3DS came out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same thing, but just on a way bigger scale because that was just like, oh, a better processor, better 3D, but like better everything. But now, I almost wonder if like the same thing's gonna happen because like now
This
it
is
almost
this.
really doesn't make much of a difference to have
It's
either
the
or.
cell phone system.
Yeah.
You know, every year we get better, slightly better versions of the same phones. And you know, in September we're supposed to get the brand new iPhone, the iPhone 7, which apparently isn't even going to be that big of a leap. Which,
Maybe.
you know, it just happens. This is the way the industry is going, but it's the first time it's going to be happening with consoles, home consoles.
Yeah, while it did happen with the new 3DS, like this is
Well,
such a
Nintendo
larger
always-
quantum leap. Like,
Nintendo always does it. The Game Boy Micro,
yeah,
then the DSi,
Right.
and now the new 3DS. They always have that incremental system. And now
Yeah.
the NX is coming. Like they do, that's the way Nintendo does their business always. But you know, the Micro. Okay, well, yeah, actually, the Micro really wasn't different. It was just small. But the DSi was faster, better. It had the digital shop, and then the new 3DS, like we just said, better insights, better 3D, better battery, all that jazz.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
again, there's so many moving parts with this, and
And it's just
get
less
ready
than a
for
month away.
strap in for a busy next month because if we get this and then we get the NX announcement, and plus we got BioShock Collection coming, which is going to be the game of the generation. Like
Takes
there
up
is
70
some-
gigs on Xbox, by the way.
There's
Read
some
that headline
serious
today.
stuff coming in the next month. My last question, though, in regard to this, and we'll start, we'll go left or right, is it's appearing on my screen. Simple question. All right, obviously, we still don't know what it is, so I'll ask this again once we know next month. But if it was out tomorrow or well, whatever, do you want to buy the Neo? When this is announced, do you want it? Brian, start with you.
I don't know. It would really, really, really depend on what games would really benefit from it for me, because I primarily, with the exception of like a few exclusives on the PlayStation, I primarily am an Xbox PC person. Even though like there are games on the PlayStation that I love, like The Witness, Abzu just came out. You pretty much can't play The Witcher 3 on an Xbox One, at least in my experience. There's a lot of games. Uncharted 4. I don't even know why I didn't mention that. So I guess I would really, really have to see how everything runs first because I don't know right now. I would have to. I'm a visual dude. I need to see things in order to really like kind of decide on it. The Scorpio I already know I want because I have a huge library of Xbox One games, and if I can play them, 3 or 4 times better than I can now, I'd love that because I know the Xbox is an underpowered system, and that's the other thing. PlayStation 4, in terms of just consoles, isn't really underpowered at all. It's doing just fine. But I guess if you're the kind of person that has, like, if you have a 4K TV or you really, 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 really like 60 frames a second when you're playing any sort of game, then
I love those frames.
yeah, then it's a good upgrade. But as of right now, I'm more so leaning towards no.
Okay.
I would just have to see it first. My mind could totally change.
And this is why it's a weird question to ask before
Yeah.
we technically know what it is. But I'm just curious where everybody's mind's at before we start. Michael, what about you? We're the PlayStation insiders, so we've got to
Yeah.
get this.
Yeah, I mean, I want it, yeah, for sure. The only thing I if it was out tomorrow, no, I couldn't because I just don't have the money for it,
Yeah.
realistically. But yeah, like I would totally get it. The thing is that like how Max is saying that it's more like a cell phone cycle, then it would almost be like we're required to get it, and at that point, I mean that's kind of crappy to the previous owners of like who's had it since launch, and I just don't see them like doing that, like I don't see them like leaving those people out because they spent like $400 on a system, and then all of a sudden it's deemed worthless, and I think that would be really crappy to do. So I don't think they would do that. I don't think necessarily the Neo will be like, I don't think anything will be phased out. I just think there are more like level tiers of like, here's our low tier, the base system.
Your
Here's
your
the
iPhone
and then here's
5C, your plastic colored candy case It does the same stuff
Exactly.
our other phones do, just not as well. And then here's
Yeah.
your
And then the
6 Plus.
Neo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see where you're
So,
coming from, Michael.
yeah. So it would just
I
be
get what
really
you're
crappy if
saying.
they did that. But yeah, I think I would get it. It would depend on the price though too. Like if they're gonna sell this thing for like 600, which they won't do. No, totally.
You'll want
I
a
will not
second
get
job for it.
it. No.
The Starbucks help pay for
but-
schooling and game habits.
I mean, I
Mhm.
could do. No, I won't even get into that thing. Yeah, never mind. But there's a. I mean, if it was like 450 or something like that, I would think about it for sure. I mean, if it was 4, like I'd probably think I would definitely get it. Yeah, like 450, I think is like where I'm at as far as much as I'd pay for it. I don't know if I'd want to pay like $500 for it. Again, we have to see, but right now, from what I've heard, it's like 450 is for me the price that I'll pay for the thing.
Okay.
Mm.
Max, I know you're champing at the bit. Tell us.
The reason I said earlier, because I just want to upgrade my PS4 in general, and if this has the upgrade I want, and I'll pay that $100 upgrade fee, so to speak. So if this has what I want, I'll do it. I'll upgrade because with VR coming, it can't help to have a more powerful system for VR. So yeah, I want to upgrade to it. If it's like Michael said, the price kind of matters because our PS4s are worth $200.
I mean, you and I are already planning on buying PSVR as well.
Yep,
so
you and me
that's-
are in the same boat. Halfway there, by the way. I crossed the halfway point for VR.
I think I'm there
so.
as well.
Yes. So just because of that, I think it would be really cool to upgrade that. And if it does launch this year, wouldn't be surprised if it launches right around the time of the VR, because that would be a month later, which a lot of people are saying October. Those are the rumors floating around.
I think
If
it's
it
a
is
death
this
sentence
year,
if they
that's-
launch on top of each other. I really do. I hope they don't, but
But
we'll see.
if it launches this year, that's got to be when it launches because they don't want to miss. It's got to launch before Black Friday because they don't want to miss those sales. So, it could be VR and then Neo a little later, but they'll be around the same time. But yes, in short, I do want it. Just a tiny little side mention. People found a patent for like an upgraded Vita, like a new Vita.
the Trinity.
Yep, a potential for the word Vita to be said on stage.
I'm not putting money on
No, I'm not. I'm not
I
holding my breath
almost
for
hope
it.
not because I just bought a Vita.
You finally bought a Vita?
it. Well, you made a good
Yeah.
decision.
Vitas are
It's
amazing.
awesome. I love that thing.
I love my Vita.
It's one of the
Yep.
better handhelds.
It's the only way to play Hotline Miami.
I will close us out of this and say that I'm definitely interested in it. The hardcore gamer in me would almost I'd be squirming because I would want this thing so bad, but I don't think I would do it at launch. I can hold out for probably 6 months or so before I would eventually cave and probably buy the Neo. I definitely want one. I would want to run to the store immediately and pick one up, but I just don't know if it's going to be worth it day one, especially with the next. I would say it's going to take about a year before games are being specifically optimized for it. I would guess that the ones that are going to release within the
What if
next
Horizon was
12
delayed
months,
for Neo?
It won't be.
What if it was?
I don't think
Oh,
it will be.
It was
be
delayed quite a
garbage.
bit.
Then that's when
You
people start
stop.
getting pissed.
But what if it was? That game looked fine at E3.
I just
say it.
I
Speaking of delays.
yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So to close out, I want one. I don't know if I would get one at launch. I think I'd try to keep myself away from it, even though I would want to run out and buy one. I don't think I would. I would eventually probably cave and get one though. I mean, I told you though, I don't want to get rid of it because I do have PT, and I think that's awesome that game
You
literally
just can't sell your
doesn't
PS4. You'd have to
exist
flat out buy a Neo. You couldn't sell yours.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to sell mine because I literally own an extinct video game. So that's always been really cool to me that I have that. So yeah, I would want one. We'll see what the price is and stuff. But I'm going to go on the record right here, right now. Tuesday, 4:09 p.m. on August 16th. It's not coming out this year, you guys. It is not coming out this year. I will put money down on that.
I think you're wrong.
I just can't see it. Now, I think they could come out with some sort of slim model. I
really hope. That's the thing
out
I hope they don't do. I hope they don't do what Microsoft did, which they announced the slim, and then at the very end they're like, oh, and there's a more powerful one coming next year. Oh, thank you. Like, I don't know.
But they announced them at the same time. It's not like they were like, oh,
yeah,
here's
that's
this.
fair. But I would have, if they didn't announce the Scorpio, I would have upgraded to the slim.
I know,
I
and
just
that's your
bought my
choice.
Xbox One.
But
But
I
it's
mean, at least
it's hurting sales.
I mean,
the reason.
Like I said,
I just hope they don't
sold
do it.
out.
I hope it. They did, which I'm very surprised about.
The reason I don't think it'll happen is because I have said for the longest time they're treating the PSVR like a console launch in its own right. If they were to then launch an actual console alongside it, and not only that, a console that is now the future of their business, because Neo's not just a slim model where you can release it within a month and there's no big deal. Oh, it's a newer, better model. Like, this is going to be the future of the PS4. This is a huge, huge thing. And for them to just kind of
it's the other way
release
around.
it the following
VR
month
is the next thing. I think it's a huge thing. I think
that's
Neo is
why
the small thing. I think Neo is the. This is coming. Look at our VR.
That's why I say like Neo is going to be like 450, and then the base one is going to be 300. So then people could get that base one if they want it. They want that.
I agree with
they
you.
want
I think
the
it'll
one
be
that-
around. I think it'll be around 450. I don't see it being much higher.
If it was more than that, it'd be ridiculous. Like, nobody will buy it. I don't think.
I'd have a hard time doing that.
Once you get to $500, it's crazy. It's like
It's not coming out this year. It's not coming out this year.
You know what?
I'll stand by that.
Almost didn't come out this year.
Final Fantasy 15.
There we go.
Thank you. I did mention it a couple minutes ago, but the game Final Fantasy 15 got delayed again this week. Again. It's been in development for 10 years. We were a month away, and then I think Friday night.
Longer than a decade.
I mean, what's
No,
a
it's
few
a decade.
months?
It's been 10 years. Friday we started hearing rumors that it might get delayed. Everybody was shooting them down very quickly, saying, no, that's preposterous. That would never happen. Supposedly, GameStops were getting the call from Square Enix saying, hey, you're going to need to change the promotional items that are in store right now. And then, lo and behold, yesterday morning, we finally get confirmation that the game is indeed I almost said canceled. No, it's not canceled, but it is delayed. It has been pushed back to November 29th. Or November 29th? Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's the 29th of November now. No longer September 30th. That entire press event they had earlier this year, hosted by the kind of funny guys, is now almost completely moot because they didn't hit their date.
But Kingsglaive came out.
Oh, but we got the Kingsglaive, and we got that new demo with the weird named little rabbit thing with the
It was
ears.
so good. It was so good, right?
I didn't touch
Hey,
it.
No,
it was like Kingdom Hearts, so yeah, it was really good.
I mean, it was
Soon, Nomura's fingers were all over it.
It was fun to play, but like, here's why I'm not surprised with this delay. I like September. I was like, okay, cool. That's good. I'll get it then. But at the same time, when I played the Platinum demo, I played it on the Xbox One, and I played it on the PS4 too. And when I played it on the Xbox One, I was like, this does not look like the trailers. Like it's just like the resolution, the frame rate. It's just not there. And so I was like, well, you know what, maybe it's better on the PS4. You know, the Xbox One's a little underpowered compared to the PlayStation 4. So the PlayStation 4 is probably better, but it's not much better. It has like a dynamic resolution to where it can go from 1080, but sometimes it can go down to 830 just to keep the frame rate. And sometimes, that didn't even really help. The frame rate would still be, dip into the low 20s. And I was like, okay, well, like I'm still in the realm of like this is a demo. They need to optimize it a lot. To make it run better, so that way when it comes out, it doesn't run terrible and it actually looks really good. And I was like, September sounds pretty reasonable, but I don't know. Like I felt like I kind of thought in the back of my head maybe they'd delay it, but I was like, no, that probably won't happen.
It looked really bad at E3. Like
Oh,
the
yeah,
demos
it
that
had
we
it
saw
on
at E3
Xbox's
were
stage.
And I was
Oh, it
like,
was
I
a
think
rough
there's
demo.
more work to be done there.
The
Yeah.
key thing I've heard about it is that they were having an incredibly hard time optimizing it, which is something Brian mentioned about the demo. He didn't think it was optimized very well. I've heard that that is the reason why it got delayed again, is because they were having a heck of a time just with the optimization for this massive world that they've created where you run around as a boy band or whatever. I don't know.
I watched the first 30 minutes of gameplay. It really is running around as a boy band, but I can see the gameplay loop kind of already in what they're trying to do.
Because I think it's on an older engine too. Like it's on an upgraded older engine. It's the same engine that they used to make the Kingdom
13?
Hearts series, but just upgraded a little bit more. From what
I
I've
thought
heard,
it was their
don't quote me on that.
proprietary engine. I thought that they
Yeah, it was like it's
decided
like
to
the
do
Luminous
that.
engine or something.
Yeah.
And I
Kingdom
was like,
Hearts moved
okay,
to
well,
Unreal 4.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is on Unreal 4 now. And I was wondering, I was like, well, why is this? Maybe it's because there was so much work already done to the game. They just had to keep it on the same engine. But
Potential, yeah.
yeah,
It's-
it like I always thought like, well, maybe what did they do to this engine to make it look this good? Maybe they're having problems with it because of that. But like, I don't know. I'm not huge into game development. I know like Unity now, but maybe it's I don't know. Maybe they're having trouble because of that. Maybe because it's an older engine running on such new
New
That makes
hardware.
sense.
It's, delays are generally good. Delays
That's
help
my
make the games
catchphrase.
better. This game has been in development for a decade. 2 more months isn't going to kill everyone, especially if it does make this game run better and it makes it a better game overall.
That's what I've consistently said. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
I don't
this-
care about this game, so I am glad to see a developer, especially a developer who had an entire event dedicated to releasing the freaking release date, now
Mhm.
finally go back on that date and say, look, the game's not ready, suck it up. We're not putting this out till it's complete. And their director even brought that up yesterday. He said, I would rather we put out a game that is actually complete and is properly done instead of releasing a day one patch when not everybody can download the day one patch because he
Yeah.
realizes that not everybody has a stable internet connection. So I thought that was really cool of him to say that and speak up for the people who don't have internet, because I was one of those people for almost the entire last console generation. I had awful internet. I couldn't connect to Xbox Live or PlayStation Network ever. So I'm glad to hear him say that.
We'll see. Hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully it's worth the 10-year wait. That and The Last Guardian this year, both in the same year, which is really kind of interesting to look at these two games that have such dedicated fan bases.
Plus No Man's Sky.
Isn't that like a Miyamoto quote? Where he was like doing an interview and like one of the things he said was like, a
think it was
delayed
Martin
game
Luther
just
King
takes
quote.
longer to come out, but a bad game is bad forever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was
It is,
Martin
yeah.
Luther King. That was Martin Luther King, I thought.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That was
he
Martin
said,
Luther King.
he said that. He said, I have a dream, and then he said, a bad game is always...
no longer exist.
But
Oh,
you
sorry,
also have to
Google
think of like,
Fiber
in this-
will rule the world.
you also have to
Google
think in the same
Fiber.
sense of what's that other game? It came out last generation, and Duke Nukem Forever.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It
I was actually about to bring
same
that up.
thing.
Yeah.
It was pretty terrible.
On the other
So
hand, there's Doom.
hopefully Final
Yeah.
Fantasy can meet those
Yeah, Doom.
expectations.
Yeah, I forgot
Um,
Doom was in development forever.
Oh,
I
man,
just
Doom is
want-
so
Yeah, so
good.
did I.
I want this game to come out just so the only big, ginormous, important JRPG that Square can talk about is Kingdom Hearts after that.
Yes.
That the only thing coming out of their mouths after that will be Kingdom Hearts, and that's all I care about.
Because I was scared about that. Because I was like, oh my god, Final Fantasy just got pushed back. Kingdom Hearts is gonna get pushed back now too.
But we never
But at
had
the
a
same
date
time,
for that,
this is
so
This is a console Kingdom Hearts, not like a handheld little thing on the side. Like this is a major release Kingdom Hearts game, and they're gonna.
title.
I'm so excited.
I know, Brian, you and me.
Me and you, we get it.
Yeah, we do get it, and oh my gosh. Oh, do you guys remember, I think it may have been at E3, or it may have been a different event, where they announced
God
the Final
help us
Fantasy
if we're getting
15.
into a Kingdom Hearts tangent.
No, but Final Fantasy 15 VR. You remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember
You
that.
remember how
yeah.
bad
Oh,
that looked?
You can
Trailer.
stare at the
That
girl's
looked pretty bad.
booty.
You can stare at everything.
Or
and
no,
you can
you
already
stared
do
at her.
that in
You
the
stared
base
at her
game.
boobies. Those are boobies.
Oh
not her
my
boobies.
gosh. But anyway,
Boo-boos.
and everyone was like, oh, this looks atrocious. This is awful. Like, why are they doing this? If they did that for Kingdom Hearts 3, I'd lose my mind. I'd freak out.
I
Oh my
want to
God,
look at Sora 360.
I'm sure it'll work, but like, what was that trailer?
It was very dumb.
I'm
It was
sure it
so Japanese in the worst way possible.
I heard
Yeah,
it was like the worst demo at E3 from people who played it.
Probably.
Ugh.
Most probably. But anyway, Final Fantasy 15. It'll be
It'll come out someday, maybe.
one day.
I mean,
It
the
almost-
only question I had for like all of you guys that wrote in here was, you mad, bro? Like, are any of you upset by this? I don't think any of us are huge Final Fantasy fans, are we?
I
never-
don't care.
never played a Final Fantasy game
I've-
except Kingdom Hearts.
I've played 7, I've played 4, and I've played 6, and I like them, but like that's it. The only one I was ever really like super excited about was this one because, well, it's the same composer from Kingdom Hearts, so I was all over that. Like
Gameplay
even
is
if I don't
akin
get
to
this game,
Kingdom
I'm buying the
Hearts.
soundtrack.
Also,
And
Tetsuya
then
Nomura was the director.
just the fact that it's like it's a big open world game. I love open world games, and the fighting, like the combat's not turn based. I can't stand turn based fighting.
Yeah, that's why.
And the
That's
fact
one of the only reasons I'm interested in it, is because it
Yeah,
isn't
like that was a
turn-based.
huge thing for me.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I mean, well, when it's out, it's out. I may
get it.
give it a shot.
Let them keep on working on it. It'll be better for it.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So, with that coming out in November, we're going to have a couple other games that we're going to talk about that are coming out this fall in just a moment. First, though, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with our topics of the week, where we're going to talk about hype trains and No Man's Sky, as well as fall releases and what we're excited for. So come back in just a minute, and we will talk about all that stuff. Cool. What is the... oh, shoot, I didn't write the time.
I wrote it down.
For the beginning?
No, not the beginning.
Dylan
It
was
was
about to
around.
push
I
through.
looked at it. It was around
We're talking
2:30.
about Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts
Yeah,
is
I
good.
thought
32.
Max was gonna go into a massive Kingdom Hearts tangent, and I was gonna have to like.
No,
It
I
would've
reined
got
it in. I reined it in.
We started talking about Kingdom Hearts. He's in the back playing No Man's Sky, and like we started talking about Kingdom Hearts, and out of the corner of my eye, I just see him like, what? Like,
What?
Y'all talking about Kingdom Hearts?
Y'all
He's
talking about
the
that
one that
Kingdom
I'm
Hearts?
working on the game with. That's the whole reason I was over here today. But like, he's just as big of a Kingdom Hearts fan as we are, Max.
Oh my gosh! I can't wait to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on that game.
I know. Oh my god. I want
Wait,
it
why
so
would you
bad.
spend that much? I don't understand.
So
you can buy multiple
He's gonna buy it
copies.
digitally. He's gonna buy a physical
I
copy.
will. I'll probably buy it for both Xbox and PS4. But do you remember when Final Fantasy 15 had its event and they revealed that like Ultimate Collector's Crazy Edition?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I will buy that, and then I'll buy the tier below that because it had different content in a different case. I'm just treating Kingdom Hearts like the same. It'll be the same exact sort of launch.
It's
So
like another.
obvious-
It's like another Shovel Knight.
Or you could buy
Pretty
a
much,
Neo,
but
or
way more expensive.
Scorpio, or an NX, or something.
But see,
What if it's
the thing
just
about
like
Kingdom Hearts 3 that you're forgetting is it won't be out for another decade, so I have plenty of time.
That's true. That's true. We'll be on the
That's
PS6
true.
by then.
Yeah, so don't you worry.
It'll be on the Xbox 2 Scorpio.
But the thing you're forgetting is that Goofy said it's coming out this year.
Oh
It-
yeah, so does
I remember-
Amazon. Amazon says 2.8 HD is coming out the same day as Kingdom Hearts 3 in my Amazon shopping cart. So
You know what's funny though, is because when I went to MegaCon, the voice of Goofy was there, and I talked to him, and I was just like, "So what's up with Kingdom Hearts?" And he's just like, "I don't know." He's like, "They don't tell me that much."
Gosh.
In my head, yeah, he said like, "Oh my god," going up and talking to him and hearing that in real life was the weirdest thing ever. But like, as I was like, "Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts, what's going on?" He's like, "I don't know. They don't tell me that much." And I was just like, in my head, I was like, "What was that tweet about?" But I wasn't gonna bring it up to him.
Before
I
we hop back
would've,
in,
like-
before we hop back in, Brian, do you have headphones for?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna steal his
okay.
actually.
So my
Good
video
call.
like paused for a really long time. Am I in
You're
real
fine.
time now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Michael.
All right.
These headphones work.
Yeah, plug those headphones. Plug those headphones in, Brian.
I want everyone to buckle up a little bit because I've got a big old tangent, a little rant about No Man's Sky.
Oh,
I'm
you
just-
and me.
They're just the worst thing
All
ever.
right.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna,
gonna,
I
I'm gonna
have
let,
to get some stuff off my chest and
I
calm
have
myself out.
played it once. And that was that.
All right, we're
Played
gonna
it
try
for
out
30
these
hours.
terrible headphones.
Yeah, I'm gonna really defer to Michael here because he's reviewing it for our site. He's played. How much? Have you really played 30 hours already?
Yeah, I played.
Have
30
you made it
hours.
to center of the universe? Are you even close?
No, I don't know how close I am, but I haven't
Probably
made it.
because 25 of those hours have been spent crashing
Oh
and
my god!
restarting
Yeah,
the game.
we'll talk about it. Oh my god!
Yeah, but I do.
hear
I
us? Can you hear us,
have a
Brian?
rant. I have to get off
Yeah,
my
I
chest.
got
It's been
these
bottled
work.
up.
Did you plug them into the mic itself? And
Into my mic?
Into the bottom of the Yeti.
The bottom of the mic, and then you can go to settings and have the audio output through the mic as well if you want to.
Oh, I just did it through the computer because now I can just hear you guys through the computer.
That's
Is that
fine.
what was spilling?
Yeah, as
Okay.
long as he can just hear us, that's fine.
Yeah, then
That's
we're
fine.
good then.
I'll splice up the first half of the episode and cut out the reverb, so it's not too bad. So
Okay.
don't worry about that.
Yeah, I tried to lower it as much as I could.
No, it's not. It's not a big deal.
Oh my gosh. Be still my beating heart.
I should have mentioned.
First
it
four
before.
figures is fully revealed. It's King of Red Lion statue.
What?
Oh my gosh, it's too good. No way. What? Wait, what?
What?
The regular version is $450. How big is this thing?
It's an actual boat.
Oh.
You have to buy the
Um,
whole thing.
There's an exclusive version that lights up. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous.
How's that? It's funny that you guys were talking about No Man's Sky because Dylan's playing it in the background, and he looked over at me when we went for a break, and he's just like, "It crashed, by the way."
Yeah, I bet it did.
Yep. It's only crashed for me once, actually.
It crashed for me 25
How does-
times. Alright.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap! You need that patch.
I still like that game. I still like it.
I like it. There's things about it that like piss me off, but I still like it. Like there's little things where it's just like the combat, the ground combat is just kind of finicky. It's weird.
Yeah.
I just
Let's hit record
the
and then we'll
inventory
talk about
space.
it.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna.
This
Um,
statue is stupid
I was
gorgeous.
I was just trying to. Yeah, I can't believe Mark lost his job or whatever the heck.
Yeah.
That,
Who
that
lost
sucks.
his job?
Nothing. We'll talk about it off air. We'll talk about
Someone
it
lost
off
their
air.
job? I want to see who lost their job.
No.
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 No, we're not telling the internet
No.
about this.
Oh, it's someone else.
Yeah.
It's someone we actually know? I thought it was like a tweet you read.
No. Well, it's someone I know.
Oh, never mind then.
Mike-
Sorry. I thought it was just like a tweet and I was just too
No,
busy.
it's. I mean, I don't think it's that big a deal. But we'll talk about it when we get off.
So insane.
It's a 25-inch
Oh
tall
wait,
statue.
we're on a break right now, right?
Yes. We
Yeah.
are.
I could go grab my
Coffee.
coffee.
Yeah,
I'll be
go
right
get your
back.
coffee.
Oh my gosh. I just...
We'll start as soon as he gets back.
Alright, I'm just gonna drool.
Turned around. See if our game was coming out. We could have talked about it.
How do I justify this ridiculous purchase?
Oh God! In a year we'll come back and we'll figure it out.
Details
it's
kind of...
It's not a real boat.
No, it's only 24 inches tall, so it's
You can
2 feet tall.
Figure out a way to make that a boat.
But, I mean, I guess if I took it off the base, it might float.
Maybe.
But this statue is really pretty, but it's, like, stupid expensive. Like, I never understood why these statues are so expensive.
Kyle commented and he said yes. He knows Blender and 3ds Max.
That's not true.
No, that's not true. Kyle has no idea what he's doing.
That's not true. That's impossible.
That's impossible. What?
Your friend has the same.
So,
Dylan.
taking on shipping.
Logan.
What
Dylan
up?
says you and him have the same phone case.
Really? I see
Yeah.
a lot of people with this phone case.
Yeah, Dylan,
What?
that is your phone case.
I'm gonna post a Snapchat.
Oh, shit.
Podcasting.
All right.
Podcasting.
Sorry, I got held up by a bird.
A bird.
Yeah, so we have a bird. I hate birds. I think birds are stupid, but it went on my head and I had to get it off of me.
Birds on your head. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Now I'm ready.
Okay, let me write down our start time again. 30 hours. Yeah,
I'll
we're...
have to do cutting for you, Logan. I forgot to stop the audio.
No, you don't need to. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. Don't stop
I
it.
won't do it.
Okay, good.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
keep it going.
Yeah, never
keep it going.
He
I
cuts
splice
it
it
out
myself.
himself.
Okay.
Good job. All right,
Can I
you
keep-
ready?
can I put my
Y'all
hands back
ready?
down?
Y'all ready to clap?
I'll just keep 'em up.
So ready.
All right, let's go. We're getting stupid, and Max has to go kiss
Ready.
ladies in 30 minutes.
Yep,
I hope,
just
Yeah.
I hope Abby's watching. Hi, Abby.
she's
Down
not
and
watching.
dirty.
She's leaving her internship. So
Dirty.
not even close.
Oh, baby. Tonight I'm gonna kiss you so hard. Right on the mouth.
Kiss you through your face.
Can't even play that on here.
I know. It's amazing.
Are we gonna make it a 5-person podcast now?
Oh yeah, Dylan, shut up.
He'll be our Kevin.
Oh goodness gracious! I've got a rant. It's bottled up inside. I have to get this off.
Oh, for No Man's Sky.
All right,
So
cool.
I'm
Then
excited.
that means I will come to you first.
All right.
All right,
I'm
ready?
ready to clap.
Max,
All right.
I swear, if you yawn, I will punch you.
I
through
don't
the
know
internet.
what this I don't know what it does to me.
I mean, unless that is your review of No Man's Sky, and then I'll accept it.
I mean, that would actually be quite hilarious, but
You made me yawn. I had to turn. it on.
That was actually my. I don't know if I made this up or if I saw it on the internet and thought I made it up, but I'll actually mention that in a second because that's. a
All
good
right, I'm
thing.
ready.
All right, let's clap.
all right.
All right, ready?
Dose.
We will go in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to episode number, what is this, 54? Yeah, 54 of Millennial Gaming Speak. With me still is Max, Brian, and Michael. So if you joined us for the first part of the show, you know what we're about to talk about because I probably just told you like 45 seconds ago what we're going to talk about. So we're starting this week with a follow-up to what we talked about last week, which was No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky released last week. I think everybody in here has played the game. Am I correct? I know Michael and
yeah.
Max have.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
everyone has played No Man's Sky.
So we've all played the game. We all caved and ended up buying it, or at least me and Max did. We hopped on the hype train there.
Most certainly caved.
And I don't know how much we're exactly. I don't know if any of us are really glad that we did cave and buy the game. I think we. So this topic this week is going to be partially. I want to talk about No Man's Sky and what our experience has been with this so far, what we think about the game, things like that. I also is part 2. We'll get into part 2 here in a second. I kind of want to talk about like how hype and expectations may hurt our experiences when games finally do release. So we'll get into that in a moment. But to start, what does everybody think of No Man's Sky? I mean, I'll get mine out of the way. I've played it for about 2.5 hours, and I feel fine with what I have played, and I haven't felt the need to jump back in again. Max, I lied. I'm going to go to Michael first. Michael, you have played this game 30 hours. You're currently writing a review for it. Max, I'll let you rant in a second. But I do want to hear, Michael, yeah. Tell me what you think, because you've played it more than anybody here.
Yeah, I've played it for like 30 hours so far. I haven't played it for probably about a day. I need to take a break. I need to take a break from games just in general for a little bit. but yeah, I played it for about 30 hours. I actually really liked it a lot. Well, the only problem is like the really bad error I keep on getting every hour on average.
And you message me every time it does happen.
Oh my god, I get so mad because I am actually enjoying my time with the game. I think the exploration stuff is fun. It's all minimal though. It's not very like I don't think it's as in depth or as like grandiose as they made it up to be. But I do think it is like a fine game, and it's especially impressive because of how many people worked on it. I think it's like 16 people or something like that.
Yeah, like 15.
It's an impressive game. I mean, it might not be as great as it should have, or that it was hyped up to be, but I still think it's a good game, especially for how many people worked on it. But just this error, man, it was killing me. Like,
they're supposedly making a patch for it. They're gonna be fixing it soon, hopefully.
yeah.
What error?
it's like error CE something. I don't know the number, but
It's
it
haunting
would
his dreams
basically
now.
anytime I would try to warp or go through a black hole, anything like that, traveling, it would just crash, like hard crash, and just kick me out of the game. Like, and it would do it like 5 times in a row, and then I could finally go to the next place I need to go. So like it would be like a solid like 20 minutes of me trying to play the game and just restarting my PS4 and doing all this stuff. And that was just so bad. But regardless of all if that did not happen, it could have happened like twice, and I'd been like, okay, yeah, it happened a few times. But it happened like 25 times. I'm like, I'm done. I can't. I'm like, man, this error is so bad. I don't.
What
I
if
don't know
the
what to do.
error is what is at the center of the universe? Like you just get there and that's the error.
Yeah, that
You get to
maybe
the center of the universe, you need a patch.
maybe I am there. I started there then in that case because it's been doing it since I started playing the game. Otherwise though, I mean, all that negativity aside, I do like it. I do think the combat is clunky and really bad. I mean, it's not really what the game's about though. You're not there to go shoot up stuff. You're there to go on planets, name stuff, discover things, and the trading stuff is very minimal. It's not really that fantastic, or maybe it's not yet. I don't know. They're supposed to be adding like frigates and base building and stuff like that later on, but I don't know. It's just not as. I guess I was cautiously optimistic about the game after a while. I was super hyped on it, and now I just, at the end of it, I was like, we'll see what happens. It's a small team, we'll see what happens. And I enjoyed my time with it so far. And I'll keep on playing for a bit. But yeah, that error totally affected my score. I would have gave it a way higher score, but yeah.
Be sure to read his review on PlayStationInsider.com. I hope probably
Is it up
within the
there?
next day or two.
Is it published?
No, not yet. I'm still working on it.
Okay, got it.
Max, go ahead and rant. I know
Oh
you're,
my gosh.
Now you're dying to. So first off, how many hours have you played? I know you and I kind of both caved on the same day. We were texting about it.
We caved on the same day. I played probably 2 hours the first night, and then next day I played for probably 2 more. I'd say between 4 and 5 hours. I've been on 3 planets and 1 space station. I've warped once.
That's about the same. I've done about everything I've done is pretty akin to that, except for I think I've only played like 2.5 hours. So
Okay.
maybe I was moving a little bit faster.
Yeah, because I had a hard time on my first planet. So it's been well documented on this podcast and on my Twitter feed and everywhere else that I was cautiously optimistic about this game from the get-go. I didn't want to buy the hype. The hype was there, mostly fueled by the community and the way the game was presented and advertising and all that stuff. And I said adamantly that I would wait for reviews. And then we did our podcast and we started talking about it, and then that seed of hype was planted in my heart and in my wallet. And I listened to day one impressions. We're like, this is kind of cool. We'll see where it goes. And I was like, that's enough. And I spent $60. And because the game is procedurally generated, it's totally random. There's no heart, it's not crafted. It's made as you go. There's a math formula and there's assets and people design those things to be like added together and stuff. So there's that element to it. But it's just totally randomly generated, and I've found nothing. There's no life in this game. Like, I've seen a goat, and that's it. And I'm disappointed in myself for buying that hype and going in there and buying it and not waiting for reviews and hearing final thoughts on these games. And I'm not going to do that again. I will.
We'll get into that in a minute. Yeah, because I do want to talk about expectations.
I can't do this anymore.
So-
And this
so
is,
what-
this doesn't happen a lot. This isn't me just exasperated with, it was my fault. This isn't Hello Games' fault. This isn't Sean Murray's fault. This isn't Sony's fault. It's my fault in buying into that hype that the internet just keeps spewing and spewing and spewing, and that's on me. And I kind of wanted to say, I realize I did bad on my part, because this game is okay. This game has cool things. I've never played Minecraft. I've heard it's kind of like a Minecraft-y thing except you can't build. And, they said they're
Yeah.
going to build forts and stuff.
Yeah.
But what's that fort going to do? I can't play with anyone.
So that's the thing that I was wondering, because you can't, like, you could go back, I guess, but once you go, like, you don't, like, where's your spot at then? I don't know. They're gonna have to
See,
do
it
some
doesn't make
gameplay thing with
sense.
it. I don't know.
It's like
Yeah, that's a little weird to me.
I'm gonna play more tonight. Abby wanted to play some more and like find some animals and stuff. But this there's a funny video going around on Twitter.
You
It's,
should smooch instead of play this game.
I know the video you're talking about too.
The video.
I already know what you're talking.
I know
Yeah,
exactly what it is.
the E3 reveal, expectations, the dinosaurs, welcome to Jurassic Park, and
Yeah,
then it
yeah,
shows,
yeah.
gameplay release, and it's this dumb animal that should never exist running around.
It
and it's wonky.
reminded me of the expectations versus reality scene from 500
Yeah.
Days of Summer.
Yeah.
The problem I have with this game is I'm not sensing life. Like the first time I fixed my ship, which took forever because the game throws you in there and doesn't tell you anything, which is a blessing and a curse. But when I finally left my planet and went to the next one, I had a beacon. I was like told go here. I was like, okay, I'll go here. I land down on the planet, what I think is close to it, and it takes like 15 minutes going full speed to just fly there. And I'm looking down on the planet. There's no animals. There's some caves, the occasional building. There's nothing in those buildings. It's just this empty, dull planet, and that's been all 3 planets so far. I know there's life out there. I see all these dumb animals and pictures that people tweet, but
So that stuff, to like, what I found is that I had the same experience you had, where like my first system that I went to like hardly really had anything, and it's not until like I think everything, like as you get closer to the center of the universe, everything, it's harder to survive, and more life shows up on more planets, more things happen, all that stuff. That was my experience with it. I don't know if that's a true thing, if like as you get closer more things happen, or if it's just what happened to me, but yeah, I don't know.
Brian, you've played it. What do you think? We've not heard from you yet.
I played about like 15 hours.
Okay.
And
so
I'm
you're right in the middle. You're the
Yeah.
middle one.
And there's things about it that I like. There's things about it that I don't like. I like exploring new planets. I like seeing all the different things, all the different animals, because I have found planets that have a lot of life on them, and I found planets with oceans, all sorts of different things. But I mostly like if I see 10 planets, 7 of those planets are probably pretty barren. It's just kind of rock formations and hills with the occasional like plutonium deposit or plants and stuff. And I just haven't been seeing that much variety. I mean, I'm sure once I get closer, maybe I'll see more. But
I'm with you on that one. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of planet varieties, like hardly there, except for like colors.
yeah, that's
And on
pretty much
occasion
it.
you have one that's like surrounded in ocean, which is kind of cool. But
Yeah,
when you
those
first
are-
see it, but
But it's like and
pretty repetitive.
but like that's fine. Because in a way it's a good thing because it makes it that much cooler when you do find a planet that's like got all this lush vegetation and then animals, and then that's really cool when you do find it. One of the other things that annoyed me was the inventory space.
Yeah.
Very hard to deal with.
Micromanage.
It's like the game doesn't want you to have fun.
Yeah, it's like I go down to a planet for 3 minutes, my inventory's full, and I gotta go back up and sell it somewhere, or I gotta transfer it on my really tiny spaceship. I mean, I found ways to make more money so I can upgrade some stuff, but that took a little bit. Like I found a planet that had these like weird pearls, and I named the planet like Pearl $$$$$, so I could just keep going back to it, so I could farm it for all the pearls that sold for a bunch of credits. I'd say like out of 10, right now I give the game about like
B+.
like I give it like an 8. And
Okay,
somewhere in the
nice.
range of like 8 to 8.5.
I'm totally mediocre on this game.
So yeah,
My
when
time with it.
before my error problem, I was gonna give it like an 8, That was what I was standing at, but things changed. So
See, I
Michael,
haven't-
you're one of the reasons why I bought it, Michael, is because you raved about it so much that first day when you were playing it. I think you stayed home all day and played the game.
well, that was more because I felt obligated to. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had to, but I also wanted to also. And I do like Minecraft a lot. Like that was my expectation for it, not necessarily to build, but the exploration parts of Minecraft, some of that stuff, is super fascinating. Like you just dig down and you find this random cave of I don't know, deposits or whatever else. Like that kind of stuff does kind of happen in No Man's Sky, and that stuff is what I think makes it a pretty decent game. Like the discovery aspect of it, not the combat. The combat's whatever. The trading stuff is whatever too. Like I thought, and also when you just put sci-fi stuff in front of me, I go crazy. Like I love it, no matter what. But but yeah, like and especially when you do ship combat stuff, I cannot stress to you how much I'm a sucker for that stuff. That's why I want to play Call of Duty so bad. Like that's the only reason why I want to
explore
do
the
that.
Did you
vast
guys
reaches
see
of
the Call of
space.
Duty Zombies reveal today?
No,
I
I did
didn't.
not.
I heard
Oh,
about it, but I didn't see it.
Oh my gosh, it looks really cool.
For
Huh.
what's the new game coming out?
Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare.
Infinite
That's
Warfare.
You guys, I tweeted about it. You should check it out. It's really,
Alright. I'll have to look at
it's a treat. I'll say that it's a treat.
Wait,
My-
are you being sarcastic or?
No, I like.
Oh.
I don't play Call of Duty games. I've never bought one. I don't plan on getting Infinite Warfare. I've played very little zombies just at friends' houses, but this one looks really. It looks like a treat. That's
check
what I'll
it
say.
Yeah.
A hoot.
But yeah, so I don't know. I really like it. It's just that, man, seriously, it's just so bad.
The one
My-
error.
My biggest issue is, I mean, I think we've kind of touched on it, is that this game was the inventory management really does irk me, and it is just too much. There's nothing to do. Like it's all mine, build this thing, move forward. Mine, build this thing, move forward. Like there's no objectives, and I know people say, oh, there's kind of a story. If you get to the center of the universe, there's kind of something there. At this point, I'm almost just kind of wanting to go Google it and figure out what it is because I don't really.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's like even worth my time getting there. I feel like the thing that is the worst about this game to me so far, in the small 3 or 4 hours, however much time I've spent with it, is that in a game where I expected to try to explore every nook and cranny of what this universe has to offer, I feel like it is discouraging exploration through the use of lack of inventory, lack of things to do overall. Like when you're constantly managing your inventory and trying to squeeze every little thing in there, you don't really care about going to all 4 planets in the galaxy. You're like, or in the current system you're in, you're like, oh, I'll go to this one. Once I get these things and I get this next ship upgrade part, I'll jump to the next system and I'll do whatever I need to do there. And you just want to keep moving forward to get to the next.
The gameplay loop is go here, get this recipe or this item or whatever, and then go mine the things you need to make it.
And then
You
from
don't
there,
have
with that new
to
item,
mine those things, so item manage and work your way through.
like I knew the goal would be to get to the center of the universe, and the game's trying to kind of push you in that direction by saying you need to build this warp drive and you need to build these thrusters and all of this different stuff. But at the same time, when I was thinking about how I personally would play this game, I'm like, well, every time I go to a system, I'm going to go explore every freaking planet there is to offer. I'm going to go I'm going to explore every planet. I'm going to name every planet. It hasn't met my expectations in that way where I'm excited to go explore because the different planets are so bland. It also takes a little too long to travel, I think. The walking and running is slow as can be. It takes way too long to jump from planet to planet. Like I get it. It's supposed to be like actual size, I guess you could say. I don't know what that would be like actually. But I get that it's supposed to take time, and you have the warp drives and things like that to help you get places quicker, and the extra the boost thrusters or whatever those are called, the L1 and R1 to help you boost to the next planet faster.
The pulse drive.
Yes, the pulse drive. They have these things to help you get around, but it still just takes a little too long. The walking specifically is incredibly slow. I hate that you can't like call your ship to you or anything like that if you get too
Yeah.
far away from it.
You kind of, I mean, if you find a base, you can do that. You can call your ship.
Yeah,
to
you're
you.
right.
Okay, so I just haven't gotten that far into it then, I guess.
Like if so if you were to go from one base and you decide to go like, oh, I'll go explore and whatever, you're too far from a base, but you see that there's another base over at the other place, you can go to that base and whatever, call your ship to pick you up or whatever.
Okay.
The game
Yeah,
is
I mean,
okay in my opinion.
It's just discouraging exploration, which is the one thing that I think sucks about
It's
it
fighting
the most.
against it. It's unfortunate. But like I said, we're gonna play some more tonight. I think if anything, this game is a game I will dip in very short periods of time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Over,
see, that's the
like
thing. I'm
30
not
minutes
upset.
here.
I'm not upset that I bought it, and I'm not upset that I downloaded it and it's on my PlayStation, because this was my next question for all of you. Like, do you think it's going to get better? Because I think this is a game that is going to be completely
patches can
different.
fix it, man.
Well, not even patches are one thing to help with like crashes and stuff like that, but like complete updates to what the
I think it
what the
can.
game is.
Yeah.
Like, is this
Yeah.
going to be Minecraft where 2 years
I-
after the initial beta of Minecraft is out, it's a completely different game and you don't even recognize it? Like, is
I
it
hope
going to
so.
be like that?
I hope so.
You
Yeah,
know,
me too.
there have been plenty of games, like you just said, Minecraft. Minecraft's completely different than when it started. Even the Minecraft on the iPhone is completely different than when it initially came out. Look at Destiny.
I was going to
Vanilla
bring up Destiny.
Yeah.
Look at Vanilla Destiny. It was not what some people expected. Other people loved it. Other people didn't. Same kind of thing with No Man's Sky here. And now look at Rise of Iron. You know, Rise of Iron looks
I'm pretty
great.
excited.
I'm very excited for it. And you know, Destiny 2's coming around the corner. And they've done that through paid updates. And No Man's Sky is promising free updates, kind of in the vein of Witcher 3. Games can get better over time. And you know,
Yeah.
I think this game, if it went to VR, I think that adds another level of immersion. You know, the moment the game loads up and you're on a planet that no one has ever been on before, that is a cool feeling.
It is.
Like the very first time you do it. And I
The
think
problem is that everybody, like all the planets you go to, nobody's seen it. That's the problem that I have with that.
Yeah, I agree. It is. I mean, that's a cool
Yeah,
feeling.
no,
but
it's
that's
just a
that's
first
how it's always
impression.
going to be.
Yeah, it's just a first impression that it's making, and it's a very cool one. But I think VR would just be another cool layer to it. Not saying this
I
it
don't
would
even know.
completely
I mean,
change
but
the
see,
experience.
VR doesn't make it fun, which is the
No, it's just it's another level of immersion, and I think it'd just be cool. It's just a thing they can just add. Not saying that making that game run in VR would be easy. I'm just saying, you know, it's something cool that they could add. Just like building bases would be cool. What you do with them, I have no idea, but
You need like bounty hunter contracts or something in this game. Like
what are
maybe
you gonna
that's not
hunt?
the game. Maybe that's
what are
not
you-
the
yeah,
game
that's
I
not-
want. But like if you could go to a space station and they're like, Joe Alien's down there on Poopsicle Planet and he's hiding out at that base, dude, you could go down there, shoot him in the face, and come back here and we'll give you a bunch of creds. Like that'd be
Joe
awesome.
Alien.
That'd be
Joe
cool.
I-
Things like that, but with like friends. Like if I build a cool base and I have an option to be like, oh, like your friend's online. Why don't you invite him to the planet you're currently on now, and you can like have them warp to you or something. I think that'd be really cool. Because it is.
Yeah.
It is an online game, but it's not at the same time. It's weird.
There's server trouble right now.
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
really confused about if it is an online game because people have already kind of found each other and they've tried to
Yeah.
meet up and they can't see each other.
Yeah,
So,
they were in the same space station or something.
When you press like pause on the controller, on the bottom left, it'll say like online features available or online features unavailable. And most of the time throughout, I was checking up on it every time I'd like pause on the menu, see if I'm online or whatever. Most of the time I was offline.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, that's true. That's how it was for me too. I noticed that down in the bottom corner, and I always tried to fix that. But at the same time,
myself online sometimes though. But
you can upload. I mean, that was a weird thing. I saw myself offline, but I could continually upload new names of planets to their servers. So it was.
This was a
strange.
Yeah, this was the thing I told you, Logan, in the Discord. But I thought it would have been awesome if the Center of a Universe was just a hub for like a social space for people. Because at one point, like if the Center of the Universe is the same for everybody, like wouldn't everybody just end up being there? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what you brought that up to me the day you got the game, and you said, "I hope at the center of the universe, it's just everybody meeting up and hanging out." And I was like, "That would be incredible."
That'd be super cool. I don't know if that's the case because it doesn't seem like, well, the people who've gotten there, it doesn't seem like they've ever said anything about people being there also, which is really weird.
I've flat out heard that there's no social hub at the center.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
That
I wish
sucks.
it would be kind of cool if there would. Like everyone can go and like, get drunk on space vodka. There's a giant statue of Sean Murray.
Joe Alien's
Joe
Joe Alien. Yeah, but I mean, even if it wasn't like a social hub or whatever, like, wouldn't you think it would be almost turned into one because everybody's going to the center of the universe?
Yeah.
Like that could be a place
Yeah.
where like, oh, wait, let's meet at the center of the universe. Like if that's the same for everybody, like why? Like I don't know. It's just. Weird.
I agree with you. It is.
So-
It was kind of strange. Did you guys? So how did you guys manage your expectations for this game? So this is like the part 2 of, I guess, this topic that I wanted to kind of touch on for a minute. Like obviously this game was hyped through the roof, and Max kind of said up front that he let his hype kind of grab hold of his wallet, and that's why he bought the game. I've continually said I didn't think the game would be any less than good. I don't think it's a bad game. I just think it's a very bland and empty game at this point. I've said I don't know if I saw it online or if I thought of it myself. If I'm a genius for this, cool. But like the tagline for this game should be "In space, nobody can hear you yawn," because it is just incredibly like there's nothing to do. Like it's just very empty and yeah, I don't know. Like I don't think it's not a bad game, but it's not like it's just not fun. It's kind of like the DC movies. Actually, the DC movies suck.
Stop,
Never mind.
stop.
DC movies
DC
are
movies
bad.
suck. Never mind.
Oh, that's a whole.
I've
other
had
topic.
people try to defend Suicide Squad to me, and I said no.
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
sorry. I haven't even. I won't see it.
Please.
You can't convince me to see this movie.
So like, how was everybody's expectations for this game? Like, did you let them dictate? Like, the expectations and reality thing, like I mentioned earlier from 500 Days of Summer, like, did that ruin how you then perceive this game? Because, like we said earlier with the whole Jurassic Park video that went up on Twitter, that was making the rounds on Twitter yesterday, like, what we saw in those E3 demos is definitely not the same game that we got, and that sucks. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Do you know how like when the 360 and the PS3 had just come out, and they would still do simultaneous releases of like it would be a game was released on the 360, but the same version of that game was on the PlayStation 2 too. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Like they did a lot of
it's
times
that
for
in
like,
between spot and when moving to a new generation.
and like that PlayStation 2 version was not that great. It just couldn't live up to whatever the 360 could do because it's the 360. I feel like I got the PlayStation 2 version of No Man's Sky. Like, cause okay, and like when I saw the first trailer, it's like that's a cool like that red planet with all the dinosaurs and stuff on it and the weird looking ocean. I was like that looks cool. There's so much stuff going on. But when I play this game and I get on a planet, I land and I'm like, okay, well there's some hills, but there's not a lot. Okay, like when I play Minecraft, I'll boot up Minecraft. I'm like, okay, there's a cool mountain I can check over there. There's a big village over there. I can go loot that. Or there's an ocean monument out in that ocean somewhere. I can go look at that. Or look, there's a cave entrance. But when I get on a planet in this game, it's just like, oh, there's some carbon over there. That's about it. There's just not much going on the planets. I feel like there just needs to be more added. There just needs to be more things to do, whether or not they're like actual, like objectives to complete missions or something. Just more things that I can do, more activities, I guess.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna ask this question: if the game was what you thought it was gonna be at E3, okay, so at E3 they showed that planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you think any more different of it if it was the same game with that kind of life in there? Like I just don't think it would be that much different.
I
even
don't.
If it was
At
like
the
that.
same time, yeah. I would think a lot. Like the game would be presented really nice, and it would kind of be like Destiny. Like when Destiny first came out, I hated that game, and I couldn't play it. But I was like, but it's presented really nice, and it's nice to look at. So at least while I play it, I have
your eyes aren't bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I play this game, it's just kind of like. At least if the game came out and I started on that first planet with all that stuff happening, at least it gives me like the illusion that something's happening.
Yeah. I think that the E3 demo thing is, it's whatever. I think the gameplay stuff, like the very first gameplay stuff that they showed, I feel like is kind of akin to what what was shown here, like the retail product. Like when they were doing all that planet stuff, like there was kind of a lot of life, but it wasn't like how the E3 stuff was.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like bursting with color and the environments look really cool. I mean, the
I would
environments
certainly
still
be
look
more
cool.
excited to go to new planets if I thought there was even the remote possibility of seeing a dinosaur
Yeah,
or any animal.
I've not seen any long necks, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, no brontosauruses, which is what I
saw
wanted.
I saw a thing that had like a flying turtle, like a paratroopa. I don't know if that was real.
Oh,
or
I
not,
saw that.
but-
Yeah, with the really tiny wings.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah.
There's actually I think it's like a subreddit or something, or just some list somewhere where people are compiling images of like animals they find that all look like penises. And there's
I've
like
seen that, yeah.
hundreds of them. It's so funny. Like if there's one really good thing that's coming out of this game, it's that.
It's that there's a lot of penis animals out there.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited to find all of them.
Penimals.
Gotta catch them all, dude.
So I
my
think
gosh.
I think even those of us, Michael and Brian, who are a little hotter on the game, I think we all definitely agree that it's not without its issues. It's a game that myself included, now that I've played it, I think it's a game that a lot of people will love and a lot of people will just find flat out boring. It's a very specific audience at this point who I think will like the game. And Sean Murray's up front said that before the game was even released, that a lot of people will love this game. A lot of people, I don't know if it'll click with you. Yes, very, very much. So I'm curious to see what this game will look like 12 months from now. If it will be something completely new and different from what we've got right now. It's gonna be. I don't regret buying it because I'm going to keep coming back to it so that I can see what they're doing with the updates continually throughout the next, I don't know, 12 to 18 months or however long they continue to support it. We have a second topic, but Max, do we need to close down shop for your benefit? Max has to go kind of early today, but so we may just can this last topic.
It might be best to save it for another time.
Okay, so we're going to talk about fall games and what we're excited for, but that's no longer a thing. Sorry, everybody.
The correct answer is Kingdom Hearts 2.8 HD Remix Final Chapter Prologue.
Rapid fire. Michael, what are you looking forward to this fall?
I'm gonna say 2 games: Watch Dogs 2 and Forza Horizon 3.
Forza Horizon 3. Okay.
I'm super excited for Forza. I could talk all day, but I won't.
We'll talk about it this weekend. Max is Kingdom Hearts, as he just said. Brian, what are you excited for?
Oh God, I'm looking. Kingdom Hearts, obviously, and then Rhyme on PS4.
Rhyme, I forgot about that. Yeah, that just got a release date the other day, didn't it?
What? No, did it really?
I thought it did.
Wait,
me
what?
And, me and Michael, the
like
PlayStation insiders.
Yeah, there's like a new trailer I think for it.
Release.
Rhyme, that game that was made by Tequila Works that got almost canceled and then someone else picked it up?
Yeah, it might be bad.
I think that game...
Oh wait, someone else picked it up?
Yeah.
I think that game is in
wow.
really rough shape. I think that game is not in a very good spot.
Oh God.
It's the same game I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, yeah,
Tequila
it's not in a
Works.
very good spot right now.
Yeah.
Sony dropped it. They're like, we're not touching this.
I'm
Okay.
looking at it now. Yeah.
Games I'm excited for, personally. Battlefield 1 looks dope. Gears of War 4 looks fun, because I have a friend that just bought an Xbox that I'll now play that with.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I'll play it too.
You'll play it too? Okay, so good.
Yeah.
I'll play it with you. What else am I excited for? Last Guardian, honestly. I'm not psyched about it, and I'm not freaking out about it, but I want to play that game, and I want to know what it's like, and I want to experience it. More than anything, this is kind of cheating, but I said this last week, PSVR.
VR, yeah, that's what I was going to plug in.
That is what I'm excited for. That is what my attention is focused on this fall.
Fly those X-Wings.
It's not a game.
I'll buy
Fly those
Battlefront just to
X-Wings,
fly an
yes.
X-Wing.
Yes, fly those X-Wings.
Yeah,
I
that sounds
completely
really
forgot
cool.
about that. That is the one thing I am excited for this fall, is the VR. And getting that in my home and playing with it every night, and every day, and losing my eyesight because we're going to find out 16 months from now that VR makes you go blind. Like the old man in the Sandlot. You're just going to be wandering around, and kids are going to hit baseballs into the backyard, and you're going to give them a ball signed by the 1927 Yankees, and their dad will forgive them for
It'll be the 3DS retina cancer all over again.
3DS retina cancer.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I remember that.
They
I
gave like
remember that.
8-year-old boys cancer, terminal cancer, and they died. There's like an
I
entire cemetery dedicated to those whose lives were lost from the 3DS massacres of 2010.
The 3DS massacres. Oh my gosh.
So that was
I'm gonna add
rapid fire with
WWE.
our topics.
Rapid fire. Pew pew pew.
So yeah, that we went through that fast. Thank you everybody for listening. We've got to go because Max has got to get out of here, but we're also kind of hitting our quota of time for the week that we usually try to.
It was fun to try 4 people. And I
It was
think
fun to try 4 people. I
Yeah.
actually really like this. It's a little harder to jump in every now and then, but I think it works out well. And yeah, thanks
It works.
thanks to Michael and Brian for both coming on. It's hard to record over the internet though. That's the hard thing. It would be
Yeah.
easy to do
Yeah,
this if we
it's-
were in person.
Yeah.
Maybe
sure.
we could do something in
Through
person.
the power of the internet.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to episode 54 of Millennial Gaming Speak. We appreciate it so much. If you want to reach out to us, you can hit us up at our email account. We are at mgspodcast@gmail.com. You can hit us up there with any questions, comments, or concerns you may have. Email us and let us know what you're excited to play this fall. We want to hear from you, and we want to know what you are looking forward to playing. We would also like to know what you think about No Man's Sky because it's been such a divisive game. We want to know who's enjoying it and who hates it. You can also hit us up on Twitter. The show is at MGS Podcast. You can find us there and tweet all those same things to us that I mentioned that you can talk to us about with the email. Twitter accounts for all of us. Logan, I am at Moreman12. Max is at Max the White. Michael, he is at MJ Ruiz 710. And Brian, I know what you're at Brian Thomas with 2 S's 64, right? Brian
Yeah.
Thomas 64, 2 S's.
That's me.
So you can find us all on Twitter there. You can find Millennial Gaming Speak on YouTube. You may be watching on YouTube. Hello if you are. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. That helps us out a lot. We are on iTunes as well. We are on Facebook. You just Google Millennial Gaming Speak. You find all the places we're at, and you can subscribe and like us at all those places and find the show. Again, I will mention this week, if you listen on iTunes, if you give us a review, that would be awesome. We're trying to get more reviews. Just give us a 5-star review. It only takes a
Review
couple
it.
moments. Please review our show. We would appreciate it. We're trying to reach more listeners, and more than anything, hit us up. I'm curious how most people consume the show, even though I can look at the stats of that on SoundCloud. But I want to know how many people do listen through iTunes, and I hope it's a decent amount. So, but if you do listen through iTunes, please, if you could toss us a 5-star review just very quickly, that would make my day, and I would appreciate it so much. I think that's it for this episode. We will be back next week with episode 55. I think we're going to talk about Ocarina of Time finally, right, Max?
Yeah, I only have Ganon's Castle left, so. Well,
So-
actually, first, I have to catch a 10-pound fish as a kid to get the final heart piece, and then I have to do Ganon's Castle.
Well, please do it quickly. So
I'm
can,
trying. That's
Is
you
this
know
a
how
different
hard it's much harder to fish as a kid than it is an adult.
That's true, but I just want you to beat the game.
True in real life?
That's true in real life and true in Zelda.
Is this
I
your
just need
first
that
time
10.
playing it?
First time playing Ocarina of Time.
Oh my god.
So,
Missed
if you
out.
come back next week to episode 55, you may finally hear our long-awaited Ocarina of Time review discussion. It only took 18 years for us to have this review discussion.
Took me. When did the game come out?
1998.
So yeah,
So
18 years.
There's a reason I said that a second ago.
I know. I'm just bad at math.
Anyway, we appreciate you so much for listening to the show. We really do. We love to hear from you, and we love doing this show for you. This is a lot of fun for us, and I hope it's fun for you every week. So thank you for listening to episode 54. We'll be back next week with episode 55. Bye-bye, everybody.
Adios.
Fake
Bye.
news, y'all.
Did you just